All right, ladies and gents, grab some popcorn and potentially a cold one. Sit back, relax, because we are diving into this deeply. We're going to go all the way through this conspiracy, and that is the Bored Ape Nazi Club conspiracy, a theory that basically states through the last 6 to 8 months of research that there is hidden symbolism inside the Bored Ape Yacht Club that leads directly and ties to Nazi propaganda. Now, we know, or at least I know from past experience being in this space for a while, that it was stated by one of the founders that there is hidden imagery and hidden symbolism that only the insiders would know about. So, as my hat here hangs around my head by one little clasp, we're going to dive right into this conspiracy. As always, family, let's start a discussion. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this conspiracy theory. I personally am a skeptic, but I saw this article. This is GordonGoner.com, and I will link this down below in the description if you want to read along with me, and we're going to go through this. Now, like I said, I am a skeptic, and I'm not entirely sure if this is just an attention grab or what it's for, but we are going to go through it step by step. Now, if you like stories like this and you love being on the cutting edge of new information, knowing what is going on right as soon as it's going on, you're in the right place. The Hustle Millennial channel here, we try and get you the breaking news, the newest stories, and the hottest topics of the day, week, and hour as soon as they come out. So make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, as you will be the first to be in the loop on what is trending, what is hot, and what is going on in this crypto and NFT space. So let's dive into this. Again, this is GordonGoner.com. This is the Bored Ape Yacht Club is racist and contains Nazi dog whistles. So that is very interesting. You can see some old, I guess what would be propaganda here, but let's dive right into it. Bored Ape Yacht Club BAYC is a series of 10,000 anthropomorphized ape cartoons sold as NFTs. Yes, well, we all know that. Since the project's launch in April 2021, the value has amassed to over $5 billion and spawned many similar projects. Yes, that is very true. Derivatives of BAYC are everywhere. Downright copies of BAYC are everywhere. The apes have various clothing and other traits. Most traits are racially oriented or involve some type of military history. Now, if they're racially oriented, I can definitely see a problem with that in 2022. Of course, that's a hot topic issue, but militaria or military history, I don't see much issue with that. Again, I'm coming into this openly, I'll let you know, as a skeptic. The act of disparaging someone by comparing them to an ape or monkey goes back hundreds of years. Yeah, but I don't think Nazi Germany was, I mean, that seems like an African or Afro-American culture that they would be trying to disparage in that manner, and I don't really think that's what Nazi Germany was going for. So there is a word for it, simionization. There are many examples throughout history. Its purpose is to justify violence and racism against another group by dehumanizing them, comparing them to apes. Simionization has occurred with various ethnic groups such as Jewish, Irish, and Asian people, but is most predominantly used as a tactic against black people. You might think simionization is something of a past era, but racists are still comparing black people to monkeys today. Nobody in my circle does, and I haven't heard that, but I mean, I can assume there's some pretty deranged people out there. Such as a trend in Europe of throwing bananas at black soccer players. Of course, I don't live in Europe, so I would not be privy to that. At first glance, the apes in Bored Ape Yacht Club might seem innocent, but there are several traits that indicate that they are intended to represent black people and Asian people, such as the gold chains trait called hip-hop, the gold diamond grills trait, the kamikaze headband from fascist Imperial Japan, offensively labeled sushi chef headband. Might be a little bit of a reach there, again, coming into this as a skeptic. Myself and many others have noticed the issues with the images. It is clearly simionization. If you run a Twitter search, you can find people have been talking about this since the project started, and there's a block here of discussion around this topic. Again, the link will be down below if you want to dig deeper into these images. Knowing the history of alt-right 4chan types in crypto, myself and others started looking into it. We found what we believe to be definitive evidence that the group behind the creation of these images are intentionally embedding Nazi dog whistles throughout their project. Here's how we have arrived at this conclusion. Number 1, the BAYC logo looks very similar to the Nazi Totenkopf emblem, even containing the same amount of teeth in the skull, 18, a number the ADL has identified to mean Adolf Hitler. The logos also both have a ragged edge, something very uncommon in other circular emblems. Again, I think this might be kind of a stretch, as even if you look up we can go and look up Starbucks black and white logo. The Starbucks black and white logo here. I mean, this is a very common font or graphic design style. You have the emblems on the side, the centerpiece, the top and lower wording there. It seems very similar, so that might be a stretch. Just saying that they both share a ragged edge and somewhat similarities, I'm not buying that. The project was launched by a company called Yuga Labs. The Kali Yuga is a popular element of alt-right / traditionalist ideology, and Yuga Labs has gone to the effort to embed the traditionalist philosopher's name, I might butcher this, René Guénon, who is credited for bringing Kali Yuga into Western thought and an alt-right icon. Inside one of their puzzles, also embedded is the word macaque, a known racial slur. Something I'm not privy to. Let's actually look that up right here. Macaque comes up with a monkey. Macaque constitute a genus Macaca of gregarious old world monkeys. So gregarious old world monkeys is what we pull up for the definition of that forefront. It's not pulling up a racial slur. So in generalist terms, that would be representative of a gregarious old world monkey. One of the co-founders goes by Gargamel, a character from the Smurfs who is acknowledged as an anti-Semitic depiction of a Jewish person. I did not know there was anti-Semitism in the Smurfs. Also a common term used on 4chan to discuss Jews. Since I've brought this up, he has gone through the effort to try and hide it. Gargamel's real name is Greg Solano, a writer who wrote his undergraduate thesis on fiction about Nazis and expressed interest in incorporating a character like Hans Reiter, an SS officer, into his writing. That is an interesting point. That one of the creators has such a deep interest or passion for old world Nazi ideology. Again, we have what looks like some court case document, again linked down below if you want to look into it. And we continue. Number 5, another co-founder goes by the name Gordon Goner, aptly named after this website, or the website aptly named after him, gordongoner.com, says he picked the name because it sounds like Joey Ramone. Gordon Goner, Joey Ramone, I would say no, that doesn't sound anything alike. Being that the group uses anagrams and that it doesn't at all sound like Joey Ramone, which it doesn't, maybe this is an anagram. Sure enough, it's a whole word anagram for Drongo, for Gordon, and Negro for Goner. Drongo is a common 4chan and Australian slang for stupid. It's in the dictionary as such, second definition. So his name means stupid Negro. That's pretty terrible if it's true and if that's what it was intended to be. Writers often use anagrams for character names, and they are also often incorporated within video games, some of which Yuga Labs have stated they play. Gordon Goner's real name, Wiley Arano, was disclosed early February. There is barely anything online about him. The one person I could find who knows him says, I have no doubt they are crypto-fascists. So we can scroll down here and we see co-founder of Yuga Labs goes by the name SASS or SAS on Twitter, and you can see that they're comparing that to the SA and SS troops from Nazi Germany. Final co-founder goes by SAS, SA or Sturmabteilung, was the Nazi Party's original paramilitary wing, and SS or Schutzstaffel was the primary paramilitary Nazi wing. So his name, SASS, combines the two primary Nazi military divisions. That's super sus, guys. That actually is super sus. And I just want to look up real quick, if we just type in SAS, Yeah, to be cheeky or rude to someone, so it does have other, of course, definitions, like Urban Dictionary. Their video game, as well as the Rolling Stone cover, features rats with gold. This is a common anti Semitic association. The video game also features bananas arranged to look like swastikas. Okay. On Yuga Labs' website, they state that another NFT series, the Hash Masks, was a great inspiration. The Hash Masks are made by a Swiss company, Zum Quick Labs, a phrase used by the Nazis on the gate of the Buchenwald concentration camp. Again, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. I'm sorry if I didn't. The phrase was also used on the face of Prussian helmets that are in the BAYC collection. Now that I did see the Prussian helmets along with like a Soviet era kind of fur cap that they have, and also the American troops, kind of the World War II hard helmets there. But that would just fall under what I would think militaria, not really in the scope of racist. Yuga Labs is inspired by Zum Quick Labs to the extent that even their terms of service was taken from them. And you can see more down here that it looks like they took their terms directly from Hash Masks, and we see some Pepe trolls imitating. So here we can see the helmet that they had mentioned, along with the Soviet era kind of fur hat and the American hard helmet there, along with what looks like a circus monkey hat or a circus elephant hat or whatever. I believe that would be the sushi chef headgear. And this just kind of looks, I'm not sure what that would be, like a safari explorer hat, I suppose. The symbols, content, and attitude in the images themselves have neo-Nazi ideology and war references, such as this Prussian helmet, which we just saw. Many of them are more specific traits, which are shared with 4chan Pepe memes. In an interview, co-founder Gargamel admits that nothing in the collection is random, that there is hidden encrypted meaning and referenced iceberg theory. So for anyone that doesn't know iceberg theory, you can think of an iceberg. What you see on top is probably only 10 to 20% of the actual size or mass of the iceberg. As you go down lower, you have the bulk of what is really makes up the mass of that iceberg down below. So you can think, concept one, main concept hiding under the water there. In the same interview, Gargamel cites a Ludwig Wittgenstein quote, "Let the unutterable be conveyed unutterably." So what you cannot say, let that be purveyed or perceived without the need to say it, which would fit in if they were trying to hide Nazi ideology under the iceberg. That quote would do it definite justice. It seems strange if they are just cartoon apes, no? What are their other meanings? They've yet to explain and seem very evasive. The alt-right is known for this tactic of hidden images and innuendo. See full Gargamel quote below. Alright, number 11. Here's a recent 4chan thread where they're acknowledging that, so again, link down below if you want to read into that. The Yuga Labs project The Other Side, as well as BAYC, were both officially launched on April 30th, the exact date that Hitler died, or depending on the history you follow, the date he supposedly died. Number 13, The Other Side virtual land plot held by BAYC co-founder Emperor Tomato Ketchup has a character named Stonewall Jackson, which is a reference to the Confederate General Stonewall Jackson. So I don't really know if he's going with direct Nazi ideology or just basically saying that the whole collection is racist. Confederate General certainly would not have been in Nazi Germany. Why does it matter? To me, it's a terrible example to other creators, setting a bad tone for future generations of art. We've already seen it morph into increasingly racist offshoots, and I'm actually going to click on this because I'm interested in what offshoots they are stating. I mean, that could just be an homage. Monkey Board 1. I don't see this. I mean, honestly, I don't see this as incredibly racist. They put him with a solid gold ball, a golden crown, big muscles flexing. I mean, this kind of seems like an homage to LeBron. more than something that is racist. But again, let me know in the comments down below. Let's start a discussion and talk about this. That's how you get places, is talking it through and theorizing with your community, with my community, my beloved community, you guys out there. Beyond that, I'm personally offended by the Nazi references and find the act of covertly incepting an uninformed audience vile. There's a true danger in dehumanizing people. Very, very true. There is a true danger in that. Equating them to monkeys. It justifies violence and racism according to much research. And here basically an outro says, spread the word, stand up against BAYC, comment on influencers' pages, tell your friends, alert the press. Now this was wrote by Writer Rips. Now Writer Rips, back in I believe 2014 or 2015, was actually named one of the highest recognized internet artists, kind of the avant-garde scene. He actually worked with Kanye and Grimes as well, so he is a notable person. He is someone that is big and influential in the space and has been for almost a decade now, so that does actually put some weight behind it. It's not just a random 4chan user. And I do know that he did actually recently put out a copy, and that copy was actually taken down from OpenSea, but I believe it was Writers Rips BAYC. So we'll see if this is still up. BAYC number 9. So you can see here BAYC. Okay, this looks like a derivative of the derivative, but they essentially had a copy pasta or a right-click link save on BAYC and just made another collection. Some of these which sold for 1, 2, 3, upwards of 10 ETH a piece. Now these are literally just copy-paste Bored Apes. So it's kind of strange that he says that this collection is extremely racist and should be taken down and we should stand against it, and then he went out and literally copied the entire collection and monetized it by throwing it onto different marketplaces. So if you think something is truly racist and should be expunged from the internet, I don't really see why you would copy that very same project, make 0 changes, and repost it so you can then profit off of it. So calling a collection racist, copying it, profiting off a racist collection, I don't think that really makes things much better. But yeah, what do you guys think of this conspiracy? It is pretty crazy. There are some things that really feel like they're stretching for it or grasping at straws. There's other things that, yeah, it does kind of make sense. Kind of in the middle on this. I'm not sure what I personally think. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, and we can discuss this even further. As always though, when you guys watch these videos, you have no idea how much that means to me. I sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate every single one of you, even the ones that will watch a ton of my videos and never even subscribe. I hope that it has been either educational or either somewhat entertaining for you, as that is the goal, is bringing these new hot topics to the forefront and making sure that I'm one of the first people that gets this information out there for you, and also so we can discuss it, because knowledge is power. The more you know and the more you talk and discuss things, the more informed you will be and the better theories you can craft. As always, make sure you stay profitable, especially in the bear market. Do not let the FOMO monster bite you in the ass. It is out in full force. And whatever you do, family, keep on hustling.